Hey everybody, it is me again. I'm just here chilling out at the house, and yesterday was such a scary day. Yesterday in Detroit, in Michigan actually, well, Detroit, there were really heavy winds, and sometimes when the winds are really heavy, we get we get blackouts. And so I was yesterday in a situation where there might be a blackout. And if we had gotten a blackout, then I wouldn't have any heat. So we'd be in isolation, in the dark. So it was a little freaky. And I called a dear friend of mine, and he was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just come here. And that was so generous. The thought that with people being so careful around social isolation, for my friend to say, you come to me. Don't even worry about it. You just come to me, and we would deal with the consequences, whatever that was. And so there was something about that that was really beautiful, and it reminded me that I'm not alone. And as soon as they had told me that, I figured out a million things that I could do if the heat had gone off. I could just sit in my car with blankets on, and it would be fine. Just to be in that enclosed space, and the heat of my body would keep me warm. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about. And one of my meditations very recently talked about this whole idea of fear. And I just had a really long conversation with someone else about fear. That fear, in some ways, the virus is the virus, and the virus will have its effects. But fear will infect, could potentially infect everyone, right? And that is something that we can cure our fear. We may not be able to cure our coronavirus, but we can cure our fear. And how do we do that? I would say to start with really going inside and rationalizing how many of the voices, the frantic, screaming voices that you are hearing, based on what is likely to happen. Not what could happen, but what is likely to happen. Because all of it's not going to happen. All the bad stuff you're thinking is not going to happen. Some things might happen, but all of it's not going to happen. That's not plausible. So to really think to yourself, what possibly could happen? How much of this am I in control of? And how does this differ from the million other things in my life that I have not had control over? Ever. Like the fact that none of us is going to live forever, you know? The fact that that could be, that's a real gonna happen. And I could be terrified about that. Or I could just decide that there's nothing I can do about that, and focus on the things that I can change. And it might be as simple as picking up the phone and calling someone who could use your company as much as you can use theirs. It could be doing a meditation, listening to music, dancing by yourself even. But instead of sitting around or even glued to your television, find ways that you can connect, get back in touch with what happens in here, because this has everything you need. This has everything you need. At least that's what I think. I hope I'm not sounding too like whatever. I hope I'm not sounding like too ever, but that's what I think. All right. So that's the message that I had today. I just sit here and whatever comes up, comes up. I love y'all so much. Be well. Peace.